This is the overall hardware setup for the project titled Electric Scooter with G2V, V2H and V2G and energy harvesting function. This is the basic hardware setup. The first block is the microcontroller block. The second is the three-phase inverter and converter block. And this is the PV boost converter block. In this project, we'll show the various functions while we incorporate the scooter. The first process would be like we assume that the vehicle, the scooter, is at home and we have connected the solar panel. This is a solar panel. The rating is 10 watts and 12 volts. Here we assume that the solar panel is connected. We are getting energy from the solar panel. We assume from the solar panel the battery is getting charged. Here, instead of connecting to the battery, we have connected the nodes of the multimeter to the battery. This is showing that it is getting charged. So the battery is, here we assume that the battery is getting charged from the solar panel. This is the blue light that shows that we are getting an input from the solar panel. This LED is to show that the controller circuit is working. This is for the inverter circuit. This motor depicts this scooter, and this is the grid. Now this is the first condition where the solar input is taken and we charge the battery. You can see that the input from the solar is given and the battery gets charged. Now we assume that the scooter is starting and it is on the road, so hence we disconnect the solar input. You will still be able to see a little blue light here. This is because we have the light source, so for that we'll hide the complete light source also. So now we see that the blue LED is not glowing. So we have completely shut the solar input. Now we assume that the input is coming from the battery. Now we will connect the battery inputs. Now we assume that the battery input is being given to the vehicle. For this is the motor connection. We can see the motor is running. The input source is just the battery and the motor is running. We assume that the scooter is running. While the scooter is running, in case we want to charge our cell, our mobiles, we have a USB connector also connected to it. We can see this USB connector. We can see that while running the scooter, we can even charge our battery. You can see that The battery is getting charged. You can see a green light and the charging symbol. This is while the scooter is on the road. Now the next part will assume that the vehicle is back home. So we are disconnecting the motor. Now we assume that there is charge in the battery, and through this charge that is present in the battery we can function a load at home. This is depicting the load at home. This is V2H. So we need to put a connector here. We can see that once we put a connector, this orange LED is glowing. When we remove it, it is not glowing. So this shows the path for battery to grid. So what happens is, from the battery output we are running a load at home. Now we can see DSO outputs. We'll connect a load. You can see from the battery it is going to the grid, and we are glowing a bulb. This is a load that is present at home. And the DSO output also can be verified. The inverter output is being displayed. We saw a bulb glowing through this grid, and now we see the DSO output that is being displayed. This is the inverter output. After this, we consider the reverse. In case there is no input from the solar as well as the battery, the grid will supply us the charge. For this we are disconnecting the V2H and also the controller parts. We assume that there is no charge in the battery also. So there is no solar input, no battery input, and now we are going to take the input from the grid. Here, this is the grid to vehicle connector. You need to connect this. Here from the grid we are getting a supply, and we can see that the battery is getting charged. Now we will connect the multimeter to verify the battery charging. Now we can see there is no battery input or solar panel input, and we are taking an input from the grid. We can see the LED glowing showing this, and we have connected the multimeter nodes, and we can see that the multimeter rating is 12. It shows that from the grid the battery is getting charged when there is no solar panel or battery supply. In case we have both the solar panel and battery supply, we can use the both to run a load at home.